the water. All right, guys, it's a little warm today. The sun is beaming down on me, and we got the hood on the Jeep, which is just sitting on here. It's not bolted down or anything, but I'm gonna go ahead and do some turbo stuff. So we got the new turbo in the house. I gotta go grab it. It's a 6266, so I've pretty well decided I don't want to cut a hole in the turbine housing on the turbocharger. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and relocate the wastegate, so it'll be like down below, and then there will only be one hole in the hood for the downpipe to come out of, and then the wastegate will be down below. So I guess I'll get you guys set up on some kind of time lapse, and I gotta kill the Black Widow that's under my hood, and then I can get to work. So we got our hole. It's gonna be a little weird on the edge. I'm gonna have to definitely contour a little bit to make it fit that, but not a big deal. I don't have a tubing notcher, so I'm gonna have to do it by hand, but it is what it is. I do have a piece of pipe right here. This will go something like that, and then the V-band will stand off of that just a little ways. We should be good. So on to the next step. I know what you're thinking. Tyler, that's a really nice vise you have there. Thank you. My friend Scott got me this vise. Scott, it's finally getting used, buddy. Thank you. All right. Cool thing is, I'll definitely keep this thing, and when I get a shop eventually, keep subscribing, I will just use these to mount it to the table in the shop, and then I'll have a vise. Or I can unbolt it and put it in a hitch. So that is kind of cool. Real convenient. Nice. Cool. So I'm gonna cut this really short. It's at an angle right now, which I really don't want, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut it to where it's straight, and then we'll cut a real small section, probably 1.5 inches, just enough that I have plenty of room to get the V-band on, and then we can weld that to that, and then weld that to the pipe once I get it contoured and notched and all that good stuff. Took a couple tries, but it's better than it was. So we're going to figure out how to contour this to fit this curve. Gonna be quite the challenge because I don't have a notcher. So I could put this in a notcher and use a hole saw and just notch it. That way it matches the kind of contour of this pipe right here. But we have limited resources at the moment, so we're gonna make it work. It's gonna suck. Dang. Should I go buy a tubing notcher? Okay, so as you can see, I went and bought a tubing notcher. I just decided it was gonna make life easier, and here we are. So I got this all adjusted, had to do some flipping and moving and everything else, but I've got this in here. This is the piece that's going to go off of the pipe over there, and then it's going to be a real short piece, and then the wastegate flange, the V-band will sit there. So I'm going to go ahead and notch it, and hopefully it fits up to the pipe fine, and then we can drag my TIG welder out of the house and weld it up. Okay, as you guys can see, that thing did a very efficient job of notching that. I'm very happy with that. I'm actually a little annoyed I didn't buy one sooner. So that is awesome. Does it fit is the question. It actually forms to the radius. Yeah, that's gonna work. We're gonna have to clean the edges up a little bit because we're not actually butting it up. It's in a turn, so it's gonna be not quite the full area there, but it's close. Yeah, if you look right here, I mean the bend is pretty dang close. So we're gonna have to do some cleaning up, but all in all, it'll work. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this down because we don't need this whole thing. So I'm gonna cut this just pretty short here, and then we'll go ahead and get the V-band here on this, and then we should be good. Alright guys, we got the little piece here all fitted up. I worked on it yesterday until dark and got that to where it fits pretty well. So it's going to go right here. Hopefully we don't have any boost creep issues. There was really no way for me to put it right in a bend without it getting into stuff. I couldn't put it back here because it'd be up against the block. There's just several factors, so this is where it's going to have to go. Hopefully it's just big enough that it works. If not, we'll have to redesign everything, but we will see. So I'm going to go ahead and get this welded in here, and then I'll tack the V-band on, and then we'll put this in there and make sure it's going to clear everything, put the wastegate on it, and if it works, we'll weld it the rest of the way up. And then the Jeep should be done. I've got to put more wrap on this, so I'll probably go ahead and re-wrap this. I guess that's it. We should be good to go. So here we go. We got it tacked in place. I'm going to go ahead and stick it on the Jeep and make sure that the wastegate is actually going to clear everything. And if it does, we're going to finish welding this the rest of the way up. So everything's fine. I got the up pipe. My chair is sinking into the ground. we've gotten quite a bit of rain. So everything seems okay. I'll put the wastegate on and it's gonna clear everything. My only concern is the way that the turbo setup is on this. I'll probably redesign it later, and it'll be a lot different. I'll put the turbo on the other side of the engine bay, but for now this will work. But my concern is with this up in there, the wastegate will be here and then the control arm runs underneath it. I'm concerned that if we articulate the front end real hard, that the control arm will come up and, like, you know, rip the wastegate off of this. Hopefully not. I don't do a ton of off-roading in this thing, but I do want to be able to take it off-road and kind of play with it if I want to, and I want it to be able to do it without breaking. So I don't know, we'll see. Trial and error. So if it breaks, we should be able to at least limp it home if that happens. Well, the O2 sensor's in the downpipe. I don't know. Let's just hope that doesn't happen. But I'm gonna get this welded all the way up. I need to clean it a little more. It was crackling and acting weird because I guess I didn't get it clean enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a wire wheel on my drill and clean the crap out of this, and then we should be able to weld this up and then wrap it and get the Jeep back together. Okay, we got the up pipe wrapped. It's not my best work, but I think it'll be fine. And it's still got the thermal coating on it, so I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna go ahead and stick it in there. I'm probably gonna have to crawl underneath to get the wastegate oriented the way I want it, but I should be able to get the up pipe on and get it tightened down, and then we can get the wastegate on. It's really close to the frame rail, or the unibody rail, I guess you could call it. But we might have to clearance with the hammer a little bit, but it's okay. Okay, it was not easy, but I got the wastegate down in there. It was, there's no way I could have got the camera down in there, so you guys couldn't do the full experience there. But we got the turbo out here. It's pretty good as far as the cartridge goes. This is clocked pretty well exactly where I need it. The compressor housing is going to have to turn, so I'm going to clock it real quick, or loosen it so I can clock it. And then we should be good. I'll get my feed on here and then my drain, and then we have to figure out the downpipe situation, which shouldn't be too bad. Actually, oh no, that's loose. Did I loosen the compressor? Of course not. Okay, well anyway, we gotta get this clocked, and then we'll figure out the downpipe situation, because this one is way too big. So I'll have to get I think I have a 3-inch V-band. I might have to run grab one, but either way, we'll get it fixed up. This will bolt up. That's pretty dang close. If it needs to go a little more, we can move it a little more, but that will work. And then we'll have to reconfigure the charge piping, because I redid it for that monster turbo, and it's, yeah, that's not gonna work. So all good. We're gonna go ahead and tighten these down and then keep that from moving. All right, everybody, I had everything cleaned up, ready to go, and I managed to I managed to not get this done before the rain got here, and to be fair, the rain did kind of sneak up on me all of a sudden. So this got a little rusty again, just where I cleaned it up. So I'm gonna clean it up again. This is pretty well good to go. I'll probably hit it with the wire wheel just to be safe. Let me get this welded to this, and then we should be good to go. I'm hoping that it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be too bad. A little bit of cleaning up, but yeah, we'll be fine. Found myself in a bit of a predicament. So I need to make a straight run from this pipe off the intercooler up to the compressor housing outlet, and I don't have enough of a straight stretch to do it. I only have 90s. I cut this one down that comes out of the intercooler to hook up that goofy pipe that was on the big turbo. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut the straight section out of this before it starts to turn, and then I'm going to cut the straight section out of this before it starts to turn, and hopefully I can butt them up together and weld them. I suck at welding aluminum, so this is going to be very interesting, but I'm going to do my best, and hopefully it's long enough. I'm going to go ahead and measure it and make sure before I go welding anything, but it should be long enough once I cut them out and get them all butted up and welded. So let's see how this goes. What the hell? Okay, that's where that was. And this one. Hey guys, so we got the new turbo put on. I forgot to put the coffee can on my downpipe, so there's probably a gallon or so of water in this. So we're gonna have to start it and blow it out. It is what it is. But we're gonna go test drive this thing, see how it does with the old turbo that I put on there, the turbo. This is a 6266 turbo we put on here. Rev9, eBay Motors, feel free to sponsor me. So we're gonna go see how this sounds. I'm hoping it sounds normaler than it did before, because before we couldn't get the turbo to spool at all. So let's go take it for a rip.
Lord of mercy.
A little bit of water. I'm scared. That was a lot of water. Dang, that was a lot of water. All right, I'll let her warm up for a minute. boost. Oh, brakes are weird when they're wet. I got the boost controller turned down. I think I have boost cuts set somewhere around 10 pounds. It's nothing crazy. Boost control duty cycle's super low. I think it's at like 12 or 14%. I can't remember what springs in this gate. It's like a 3 pound or 6 pound maybe. I think it's like a 3 pound. It's a light spring. Take a real long trip. One thing I did notice though is the drain on the turbo was leaking a little bit after I started it and ran it and made sure it got up to temp. So I do have a new drain. It's got one of the little O-rings, like the recessed O-rings in the actual fitting. So hopefully that'll fix the leak problem. But we're gonna take the turbo that was on here. I guess it was like an S472. It was a big turbo. We're gonna put it on the Dodge. So the Dodge will be on the road hopefully this week. All right, let's see what she do. But it's fun.
It is fun, for sure.
What a unit. The Jeep is once again alive. We do have good oil pressure. I'm at 700 RPMs with, 35 pounds of oil pressure, so it's not too bad. We got a little. Our brakes suck, so I can't really do burnouts, but
Our lack of brakes.
Yeah. Well, the rear brake, when we took everything apart back when we did the bearings and the seals in the rear end, all the hardware just fell out when I took the drums off, and we haven't addressed that. So I've been driving on front brakes. Well, the front brakes sound terrible, and they're squealing, so we're gonna go ahead and do all new brakes. They're wet, so they're probably not gonna make any noise now, but oh, there they are. It's pretty bad. Oh. Little rocket ship. Well, the Jeep's alive, y'all. Lord mercy. I'm just gonna smack the piss out of my boat. No, I'm kidding. I can see it. Shoot, y'all. Let me shut this thing off. Oh my goodness. Alright.
Oh, don't forget the can.
Nope, yep, don't forget the can. Can's important.
Yes.
Looks like I made it. Well, y'all, the Jeep is back in business. We just got quite a bit of rain, so I'm out here stomping around in my howdy fellas. This one got a blowout. Look at that. Oh. Y'all keep subscribing, I can buy some new shoes.
Yeah.
All right, turbo's on, Jeep is alive. Anyway, we'll be back. Subscribe.